Alright guys, grab a beer and sit down, because I can't make this up. It's Monday morning. I got a call from one of my customers, says, hey, I need an oil change on a 2019 Ford Transit. I said, sure, bring it on down. So we brought it down and asked to do a tire rotation while we were at it, check the brakes and whatnot. It's going on a trip up to Lubbock, I think. And so I'm like, sure, did that and pulled the wheels off, take a look, and the front brakes are dangerous. So call them up and it's like, hey, we got to fix this, and it needs new rotors, calipers, and brake pads. So called down to our local parts store, and they went and quested it for me and got me rotors. They said they had the rotors in stock, so they gave me the rotors and the pads, and they had to order the calipers. So I went and picked up the rotors and the pads, and the pads were wrong. So I call them up again, and I get a hold of a different guy at the store, and I gave him the plate number and, had him look up the part, look up the brake pads. And as he's looking them up, he says, is this the same van that was here earlier? And I said, well, yeah, but these parts are wrong. The pads are wrong. So what part number do you have? And sure enough, they had given me the wrong part number. It was off by like one number, just somebody reached up, grabbed the wrong box. It happens. So no big deal. I was able to go back and, get new pads and everything. Next morning, got the calipers, and the rotors, they looked correct, It's like set them next to each other. They're all the same size, and it's like you line it up and everything looks, center hole lines up great. So all's good, right? Just had to wait for the calipers to come in the next morning and get the job done. So this is Tuesday morning now. So get the calipers and go to put the rotors onto the hub. So these particular rotors are bolted on with 5 bolts onto the hub. And so went to go do that, and the bolt holes won't line up, like, at all. It's just barely off, and it's like, and so here, this is what they look like.
Okay, this is what is this, cheap parts?
Yeah.
Saga continues. Okay, these center up inside here, and you're just supposed to put those bolts in. That's a pretty straight shot down in there, and that doesn't line up. Look at that. That doesn't line up. Can't put that bolt in. Wow, where's that one? That one
Barely.
doesn't line up at all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's there, but it's not there. When you try to put a bolt in, yeah, somebody would say, yeah, that started. No, it's crooked. It's not straight. And if you come across over here, you think, okay, it just doesn't have it lined up. Oh, yeah, look at that. Not straight. Would some kid in brake check run those bolts in with an impact? Damn right they would. They don't get paid very much, and they don't really care, and they don't know to care. They don't have any training. So please don't get your brakes and front end work done by Brake Check and Midas and those kinds of places unless you actually know the owner and who's doing the work. Talk to y'all later.
Right? Okay, so just barely off, right? So I call up the parts store and ask them if there is like 2 rotor part numbers that go to this fan. And sure enough, there are. And the difference between them is 4 millimeters. That's the difference. And that's, you can see. 4 millimeters. Just enough to where it won't work, right? Well, so they didn't have the right ones in stock, so called a different parts store, got the right rotors, sent my customer down to go get them. He got them. We went to go put them on, and like I said, these are held on by 5 bolts, right? That need to be torqued properly. So I start looking up torque specs and everything, and I find that they are actually torque to yield bolts. So you have to discard them. And so I call up parts store again. And, well, first I called the dealership to verify this and make sure it was correct. And it was. And I verified all my torque specs that I was able to find with my service provider that I've got at Ford. He's a great guy. And so got all of that figured out, and he sent me over to the parts department in Ford to see if they had the bolts in. So, because there's actually 10 per side that I need. So, and like 5 of them are a T50 bolt, and then 5 of them are a 13 millimeter bolt. And so I'm talking to this guy and I'm trying to explain to him what I need. And actually, I gave him what the factory service manual was calling these bolts. And he's still like, I'm like, is there a kit? And, and I told him, I'm like, if you go to replace the rotor, what do you have to go with it? And he was like, just nodding. And he's like trying to look up the caliper bolts. Like, I was just so confused. And so, like, I was looking for part numbers is what I was looking for. And so I ended up just giving up with the dealership, and I called back down to my other parts store and that sold me the rotors, and I had her look up the order, had her look up the part. And I'm like, hey, is there anywhere on there that says that I need the hardware to go with that? And she's like, oh, look at that. Yeah, there is. Well, so they ended up having the kits. So I had to send my customer down this morning. So this is Wednesday morning now. It's like I've been trying to do brakes on this van for 3 days. And we got it done. But it's like, are you kidding me? Like, nobody... I can't make this stuff up anymore. So... I hope your guys' week has gone better than mine, because mine's been pretty dumb so far. So, anyway, hope you guys have a good weekend, or rest of the week, into the weekend. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.